beat the Ravens 41-40. Brandon, me and you were texting a little bit during this game. Everything was going well till that fourth quarter happened. Please give me your thoughts, man.
First of all, credit given to the Buffalo Bills. They fought back, won the game. A lot of those fans were leaving out of there, and they made a hell of a comeback there in the fourth quarter. Got to give it to them. Be one of the. We'll look back on this game into the season years from now and say, okay, yeah, that was one of the better games of 2025 for sure. But right now on your screen, and shortly it's going to be you're going to see Billy Carrington. He's a country music star. He has a song, It Don't Hurt Like It Used To. That's how I feel right now. I don't even like Ed text me Sunday night after the game. You don't even get mad anymore. You're just kind of disappointed. We've seen this story so many times. We're used to this. Phenomenal 3/4 of play as a Ravens fan. And then the fourth quarter where we look like a team like the Raiders, the Bears, the Titans. And I'm not talking about definitely not the Raiders from the other day, but from years past where they just can't win. The Chargers, Brandon Staley, they can never close out games with him as head coach. It's the same thing. Throughout the game, though, we found ways to give this game up for real. Starks missed the intersection on the Bills' opening drive. Matabike, he had a neutral zone infraction on the next play. It set up the Bills for first and goal. The Bills' final possession before the half, they went 4 plays, 48 yards, 31 seconds, including that toe drag swag to Dalton Kincaid there on the sideline for 22 yards. Left a second on the board. Remember, all the Ravens were headed to the locker room. They called us back out. Matt Prater hit that 43-yard field goal to the third quarter. After the Flowers touchdown, Tyler Loop, he didn't get the ball in the landing zone. It set up the Buffalo offense on the 40-yard line. You cannot give Josh Allen any type of advantage, field position advantage, anything. Later resulted in, later in the drive, Jair Alexander, he got a PI setting up first and goal. The Cook, the running back.
James Cook.
Thank you. James Cook, he went in for a touchdown right after that. Fourth quarter, Trenton Simpson on the punt. The ball was, to me, it didn't look like it was going to go in the end zone. He goes and dives to try to keep the ball out of the end zone, and they called a touchback. Went from inside the 1-yard line, having them backed up literally to the 25-yard line. It makes a difference, man. Shout out to Sarah Ellison. She's one of the Ravens beat writers. I watch her podcast a lot on every day at noon. Tyler Loop, he missed the extra point. It's a whole lot more, y'all. Yeah, missed the extra point after the Ravens' final touchdown. Josh Allen, he threw up the desperation pass that was tipped and caught at the end zone for a score on fourth down. Derrick Henry, of course, he fumbled. It was in Bills territory. Hold on, I've lost something. Okay, John Harbaugh, he opted not to go for it on fourth down. Lamar Jackson said after the game he was cramping up. Jair Alexander, man, that last drive, he looked old and confused. Okay. And then Kyle Hamilton, he barely missed that field goal block there at the end that, of course, would have sealed the game for us. And then after the game, speaking of Kyle Hamilton, he said, quote, "We talked about it all off season, how we struggled last season at the beginning. Then we said it's a new year, it's a new team. And then we come out here and do that. We are saying something different, but we are doing the same things." And that's kind of what Marlon Humphrey said week 2 after the Raiders last year. And it kind of flipped the script after that. It took us a little while. They're saying, like most of the people talk about, it was like week 11 when we got things right last season, but it's a strong statement from the leader of the defense, the man, the man that just got paid early this offseason. So we'll see how it goes. The Bills, they're the first team in league history to come back from 15-plus points within the final 4 minutes and win in regulation without going to overtime. John Harbaugh, man, the first time probably since he's been there, year 16, 17, something like that, where I said after that game, probably within an hour after that game, I said it might be time to part ways. And then I came to my consensus. I got my sleep, and I said, No, because we're not like the teams that I mentioned earlier with high turnover, the Browns, the Raiders, the Titans, teams like them, even the Jaguars over the years that constantly have a revolving door at head coach. Um, so I'm gonna go from bad to good. LJ, another monster game. Derrick Henry, it was like every hole was opening up for him in the first half, running buck wild. I think he had, I don't have it in front of me. It was well over 100 yards in the first half. Zay Flowers, he was lights out. The D Hop catch there, where he
Oh,
scored, was, in my opinion, the best catch that I've seen live. Because I didn't see the Justin Jefferson catch a couple years ago, and I think somebody else had a good catch in that game. I want to say it was Stephon Diggs. It was Bills Vikings. They both had one hand catch, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Odell had a pretty good one.
Odell had an awesome catch years ago. I didn't see those live, but I saw this one live. Man, and it's funny because like going into the season, I was like, man, I don't think he's going to get the ball that much because we just got so many playmakers. But he is a touchdown machine. He can make those type of circus throws. But we've got a lot to improve on before we host Cleveland on Sunday. I got a video as well. Daniel Falele. I want y'all to watch this play. He's number 77, the right guard. If y'all didn't know, he misses the block. Plays ring around the rosy. Looks absolutely confused
Oh, I
and
saw that.
don't know what the hell is going on. Like, I understand it's hard blocking for LJ because he's all over the place. He's making guys miss. He's going left. He's going right. He's going north. Hopefully not going south, but it is hard blocking for him. But he is just. Last year he started the season like this too, and then he got better as the season went on. He's just too big to be a right guard, in my opinion. He's just tall. He's just too tall. Most guards you have, they're shorter than the right tackle, and he is way bigger and taller um than the right tackle, and he's just getting beat on the inside. He's just like I say, he just looks confused. Another thing we need to prove on special teams coverage. That was a mess Monday night. Like we were setting the Bills up several times with very good field position on kicks because we didn't punt until I think it was third quarter. So with all those kickoffs, man, it was one play Tyler Loop had to make the damn tackle on the sideline. It's like, okay, we cannot have our kicker out here making tackles. Like we just got the guy. We just drafted him. Okay, we need him. Justin Tucker's not coming back. Linebackers, Roquan Smith, he lost a step. I said it last year. Trenton Simpson, he made bold hand play on special teams. He wasn't playing the best coverage out there. Secondary under pressure. The fourth quarter, as I mentioned, Jair Alexander just looked old and confused out there, especially on that one play. I think it was to
I think it was Keon.
I can't remember, but y'all know the play I'm talking about. And they were picking on Nate Wiggins pretty much all the fourth quarter, a guy who had excellent coverage last year as a rookie. So we'll see how he goes in week 2. And then the pass rush, man, it was pretty
Yeah.
much non-existent. Had one sack for 5 yards, 3 quarterback hits. Josh Allen had all day to go east and west. As I mentioned in the preview, when he can go left and right on the move, he don't even have to stop. He could just make those throws. And he made several of them Sunday night. So these games against AFC opponents, they are must wins for us. Uh, I'm not surprised that we lost, even though I picked us, because going into the season, I said that Kansas City and Buffalo are going to be the toughest out of the first stretch. The first quarter of the season, Kansas City, home for Cleveland, home for Detroit, at Buffalo, home for Cleveland, home for Detroit, at Kansas City. I kind of figured weeks 1 and 4 we're going to lose, but those two are the most hurtful as well. You want to win games against your division. You want to win games, obviously, in general, but those AFC standings come back at the end of the year for playoff seeding. I predicted Buffalo would be number 1 seed, but this is going to come back and haunt us for real. Those you cannot lose those games to conference opponents. They're honestly, in my opinion, they're worse than losing to the division because you can beat other teams around and still get enough record to get at least in the dance. But you want to be a division winner. You want to be top, one of the top seeds. And this loss to Buffalo is definitely going to be felt for sure. What are your thoughts on this one?
I'm gonna say this, man. There's one thing for certain, two things for sure. It's week one, so it's not set in stone. Y'all defense should improve, and then you're playing against Josh Allen, reigning MVP. He can do that against pretty much everybody. Where I think the fourth quarter alone, he threw for 250 yards. They had the three scores, or basically they were down 15. I think they scored 22 points in that fourth quarter. He can go off like that against anybody, in my opinion. So
For sure.
I know the Ravens defense is, on paper, expected to be top three type defense. I'm sure by the end of the season, they can have the potential to do that. So, you know, things like that with Josh Allen is going to happen. And the same thing with Lamar, you guys. I'm sure when he said he was crapping, I was like, okay, I get it. Because at 4th and 3, I'm thinking, you know what, you guys got to go for it. Because at this point, at this time of the game, whoever gets the ball last is going to win. It's like that type of game right now. The defenses on both sides were not, doing what they needed to do to stop them. I'm surprised he didn't mention Todd Monken, man, because his play calling at the end of the game was kind of head scratching me. The first half, things were flowing. The option plays him and Lamar have where he'll fake it like he gives it to Derrick Henry, then he takes off, frees up the defender who has to contain somebody. They can't do it. Zay Flowers, career high 143 yards. He was out there waving at the Bills like, yeah, man, I'm black. I'm playing right now. I'm back. I'm playing right now. That last drive y'all had where y'all basically went like 3 and out or y'all didn't do anything, I was really surprised with the play calling. You got something? Go ahead.
Yeah, and I'll tell you about that last drive. I think we're talking about the same one, and I forgot it a second ago. It was I formation play to Derrick Henry left side for 1 yard. The Flowers jet sweep, no game,
That one, I
and
was like,
then
hell.
the crosser to D Hop for 7 yards. But the thing that threw it off was that LJ went up to the Hopkins before the game, before the play, so everybody knew the ball was going to D Hop. And again, I never played football, but that's clear as day. Okay, when you go up to somebody, unless you like Peyton Manning or Tom Brady or somebody, sometimes Patrick Mahomes, they'll do that and disguise them. Most other guys do it, and they're throwing to that guy that they go up to. So, and we also had a situation like that a couple years ago when we was going for a 2-point play. They called timeout. Nobody went to the sideline except for LJ and Mark Andrews. They went to Mark Andrews on the play. The whole defense knew they was going to Mark Andrews, and he ended up dropping it, or they blew up the play, the opposing defense. So when you do something like that, it exposes the play that you're going to run. So yeah, I think that's the same play we're talking about. And of course, 4th down was the punt.
Yeah, man. I was just like, this play calling, especially that sweep you talking about the Zay Flower. I was like, because I think that either lost the yards or was no gain. I was like, what the
Okay,
hell?
yep.
What do y'all you think y'all gonna get him with that at this point, man? Top month, you got to be more creative, man. Do something that maybe y'all, all the plays you had, you got to run something. I just didn't. I was disappointed with the play calling at the end, and I really wanted y'all to go for it. But when Lamar said, I was cramping, so I really couldn't do it, I understood that. I think it's better y'all lost this game now than later, in my opinion. You
Yep.
got a lot of stuff you can work on. The main thing that I agree with you was that pass rush. Josh Allen dropping back at least 46 times on throws. He dropped back more because he had 13 carries or 14 carries. A lot of those weren't designed runs. It was him scrabbling, making things happen. But if he's dropping back, 50 some times, y'all got to get after him, man. Y'all need to, put some pressure on him because I think they were starting to, move the ball really fast, tiring that defensive line out, couldn't make things happen. Going forward, somebody's going to have to step up, make some plays, or y'all going to have to dial up more pressure going forward. But yeah, man, you talk about Jair Alexander. I think we texted about. I was like, damn, because that one play, he just got beat bad. I think he either blew the coverage, or I hope he blew the coverage because he was shaking his head while the play was still going. Like, oh God, I'm like, yo, come on now. You were meant to be addition. I was seeing videos of Kyle Hammond coming up to you, giving you props like, yo, man, he was joking. I used to watch you when I was in 3rd grade saying like he old and stuff. Well, like you said, he looked really old out there. So come on, Jair, man. You're a veteran out there. Is when it's times like that, you're supposed to be the guy that makes a play. So I was kind of concerned with that. Hopefully going forward that gets cleaned up. I think the 2nd-year guy, Nate Wiggins, he'll be all right. Like I said, I think it's better y'all lost a game like this now than later. But it is kind of like what has happened before has happened again. I don't want to say the Ravens are going to Raven, but it always seems to be the case where a big game like this happens and y'all find a way to lose a game. Either y'all blow a lead or heartbreak type stuff happens. That Derrick Henry fumble. Once that happened, I was like, oh. The score was they cut it to 8. I said, oh, I don't like the way this is going. And what happened. And then Tyler Loop, I know it was just a PAT that he missed, but I really hope that doesn't shake his confidence. Next week, whenever they play again, please make all your kicks. And that's another thing going forward. It was a bad day for a lot of kickers. Like you talked about the opening drive, the Niners kicker, he got a wave. The Browns kicker, they could have won that game, but he missed a couple of kicks. The Browns kickers, so Tyler Loop, come on now, get it together. I know you're rookie, but hey, you're replacing basically he's gonna be a Ravens Hall of Famer. The stuff he got into it, he might take him a while to get in the Hall of Fame if he gets there. But come on now, you gotta get it together, man. But yeah, man, like I said, it is Josh Allen. He's gonna do this to a couple more teams. He's gonna break some more hearts, but definitely that pass rush that needs to improve. I think y'all get that pass rush down. That's gonna help the whole defense. So yeah, we'll see what happens going forward. But overall, this game was incredible. That D Hop catch made me jump out of my seat. I said, "Wow!" When I saw that catch. I think we texted about that catch too. That was crazy. And then also that fan who pushed D Hop and Lamar Jackson. I hope nothing happens to Lamar. I was happy to see Lamar push him back, snap his damn head back in his seat. I wish he would have dragged him out the stands and stomped his punk ass out. To be honest with you, I hate when fans do stuff like that. Professional players, don't be putting your hands on nobody, man, or you're gonna have to suffer the consequences for real. Did not like that at all. They said he's been banned from NFL stadiums. I think as a lifetime ban. That's definitely deserved. But I won't be surprised if he tries to sue the NFL or sue Lamar Jackson for physical and emotional distress. So we'll see how that goes going forward. But yeah, overall, great game. This might have been game of the season, man, honestly. But we'll see how it's going forward the rest of the season. Way to kick off NFL Week 1 for sure, though.